Yeah, so what's this game called?
Conquest of the Crystal Palace.
Conquest of
Um,
the Crystal Palace.
I played this a ton as a kid.
The music is great. I have never heard of this game. I feel like I know a lot of NES games, but I do not know this one at all.
Yeah, and you start out and choose like a default base power up, so you can either start with like higher attack power, higher jump, or higher life. And then you have a dog that can help you out. I totally forget some of the. What's the is shift? What's select?
Left shift, I believe, or maybe right
Yeah, okay,
shift.
so there's nothing from that.
Um, yeah, controllers also work. Um,
Yeah, I gotta. How do I actually set that up? Because I figure I should get that.
so mute it for a bit.
Sure.
There's like a keyboard shortcut. I think it's M, but I'm not sure. Yeah, so with controllers, I think you basically just if it's a Bluetooth controller, you just sync it to your computer, and just will just RetroArch will just pick it up.
Okay.
How it works for me anyway. I've had good luck in Firefox and in Chrome. I haven't tried it in Safari, or but this looks like you're using Chrome. So,
This I'm using Firefox.
oh, Firefox. Ah, yes, that's the little Firefox person icon. I see.
So
Um,
ah,
so I believe that you should be able to just like connect your controller and it will get picked up.
okay.
Right. So this is the Game and Interactive Software Scholarship Support Toolkit, GIST. We're playing Conquest of the Crystal Palace.
Yep.
Um,
Hello.
what's up?
I'm
What's the? Oh yeah, I'm Joe. I'm Joe Osborne. I'm one of the, I guess, PIs or like uh, main working people on this project since what, like 2016,
2015, I think, for
2015.
a notion when you first made that like the other thing, which was like the scrubber tool thing back and forth. I think was the first iteration of this.
Yeah.
Um, and now we're here. So yeah, I'm Eric Hauptman. I'm at the University of Alberta, um, and I'm one of the co-creators of Just as Well with Joe from a grant I somehow wrote 11 years ago, and here we are.
And so
One more.
what's the big idea that we're working with here? Like, what is this? Why is it different from like Internet Arcade or something?
Well, so this system allows you to actually index or cite where you are in the game as if it was a bookmark, or record your performance of the game and then immediately share it with people. So like I could like we're playing this right now, and I could right now save out a state of where I am, and then we could post a link in the in the chat of this stream, and then everyone could be immediately where I am while I'm talking about it. Um, and so I've been for my uses as a game design like professor and a game historian and a software historian person, like I've used this tool already multiple times in classes to um, to kind of share, with everybody a specific phenomenon from a game or piece of software, so we could talk about it. I did it yesterday. We read Anna Anthropy wrote a like small treatise on level design like about 10 years ago, and it had a bunch of references to early Nintendo games. And so what I did was I actually found all the references that she had in that work and just made just indexes of them. And so then I talked about this game design analysis with the students, and we could all play what she was talking about um, while it was going. And it was actually useful because the in that work, the way that she presents the level design is that she puts the like images of the full map, so like to show the progression of the level, but there's a lot of like nuance to how you proceed through the levels that you can't actually see or understand from just looking at the map, right? Mainly due to like what the view window, what the viewable space is. So like in certain games, they like hide or occlude parts of the level for you to like make decisions, and it's there's no way to show what that's like in text at all. And so I had the students go into the game and see that like based on the design, if you choose a specific path, it's impossible to kind of backtrack once you've committed. right? Whereas if you look at like the actual map um, in the article, it it looks like you have this full information that you don't when you're playing the game. So that's
Yeah. I think about like how manuals or strategy guides or like pack-in maps or something for these games, like Legend of Zelda or something, were actually composed of photographs of the screens, right?
yeah.
Or captures in a more controlled environment, but you would see like like link sprite or whatever in all the different rooms on the big map that came as like the pack-in item,
Hmm.
because it would
Um,
there's the map doesn't really exist in that form anywhere in the game. It only exists in the output.
yeah. Okay. Oh wow. Does this work? Wow. That
Yeah, it
worked.
just works. It's so good. So like
I just plugged my PS5 controller into the Mac with the USB, and it just worked.
yeah,
That's
so
really cool.
so RetroArch is an emulator front end, and like ROM organizer tool and a bunch of other things. But what's very interesting about it is that it also, um, it supports like controllers and controller mapping and replay of input sequences and all these other things. Um, and it runs both as a native compiled program and also compiled to web. And so I've been contributing to the RetroArch project for a while now, and making improvements to their like web version, because it's so powerful to be able to just stick an emulator into a browser. Um,
How do I bring up the mappings to the controller? I can't figure out what to do here
Hit
because I don't know if it's
the
set up.
F1 key, or maybe the home button on the PlayStation controller.
There we go.
And
Oh,
if you hit
F1.
the cancel button to like the B button or whatever to go left, or you can go to controls here. That's also fine.
Okay. Okay, I don't know what button 8 on a DualSense controller is. That's my thing.
So you
Button
can
8
like
is button
just
9.
reassign it, right?
Uh, so I, this is, oh, this is button, okay, here we are, shoulder,
I think they used to
select.
have a thing. I think there's a different controls menu you can use to like push the button that does the thing you want it to do. This is like the other way around, where it's like what does each controller button do? Um,
Okay, how do I go back? Do you know? Because escape isn't doing it.
use to get back to the game.
No, to get back in a menu, like to go one up the menu tree.
Use the cancel button on the controller, so it would be like circle on a PlayStation. Oh, okay. That.
Oh,
So now you're about to bind it. That's like confirm, or no, that's clear. I don't know. Um, you can also like reset the mappings. For
okay,
keyboard
let me
buttons,
just,
like arrow keys and Z and X are going to be your default like menu navigation things.
okay, so let me just do this here so I
Oh, this is an Asmic game. I know Asmic.
yeah, okay, so controls, manage remap. Let's see here, auto, analog digital map port 1, D up, D down, D left, D right, uh, Z A, turbo Z, turbo A, and then select and start. Oh, okay, these are doing different things within the menu system, so that's going up and down. Yeah, I think that this controller is a little bit complex for this crap, but
Yeah, so
right shift.
I'm gonna.
Oh, select is right shift. Okay, that's why I was getting screwed.
I see, I see.
Um, okay.
Yeah, so I pasted a link into the chat actually, um,
Oh, okay,
of
great.
the second to last room of SNES role playing game Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Um, some cool little cutscene thing here, and then then we're
Cool.
off to the final boss. So
Where is this link? Where can I see this?
it's in the YouTube live chat. So you would, I guess, you can have the stream open in YouTube, which would be another way for you to look at it while it's running. Um,
Okay.
this is an example of one of our citation pages. So Eric has been looking at the like authors page, the citation authors page, where you're working on stuff, you're putting together a variety of interesting citations. And then once we have these like bookmarks into the game, it's easy to share with somebody else, and they can immediately jump to like whatever part of the game there are bookmarks for.
Okay, so it's not working for some reason. Like my directional pad is not working. Weird.
And I know that Eric had some students doing projects about various
Yes.
games. I love these Mario Kart examples. I bring them up pretty often because besides just recording moments or snapshotting a moment of a game, we can also record a a sequence of events, a sequence of inputs. So this is a speedrunner demonstrating a skip by jumping through a wall with a mushroom in Super Mario Kart. And that's something where you could see a YouTube video, and that's one thing. But what's neat is that after it plays in GISST, you can pick up right from where it left off. You can try to replicate it yourself. You could choose to play the performance again, just to get another look at it. Yeah, yeah. It's actually it's on the. I believe it's on the stream right now.
Okay, because I don't see it from your stream on my Discord.
Oh, interesting. All right.
I see on your Discord, your stream is
Oh
me
yeah,
playing
the
this
projector is like not getting updated. I think I actually just didn't switch scenes or something. There it is. Yeah, and I still see it's your. Oh yeah, that's because to you I'm just sharing a projector from the scene that
game.
you
Oh,
were
okay.
looking
So,
at before.
okay, so I
Um,
can't see your. Okay.
yeah, that's right. You're not seeing what I'm doing right now. But if you were to look at it on YouTube, you would see it.
Is there a way I can see that going, like while we're doing it? That would be fine.
Yeah, probably.
Is there a link to where you are? You can just send that to me in Discord. I can just look at that.
Oh, sure, yeah. So I think if we're at like I think it's like at the top of my channel, so I can just get this and paste it to you in the Discord chat. And you'll be able to see the chat messages as well.
Okay, yeah. Okay, there. Then I can click, and then I'm watching it. And so,
So I'll close the projector thing.
oh man, Dragon Spirit. I'm so psyched. Hold on.
Yeah, so we can demonstrate these like speedrun techniques, which is cool. Or if you're thinking about role-playing games, if you've got, say, like Chrono Trigger on the mind, you've heard
Yeah.
about this game, Chrono Trigger. Like, what do other people think is interesting or important about this game? Well, maybe it's cool to like jump to the sort of end of. Oh, I lost your window, Eric.
I have to choose a new one. Hold on. I'll just let me find the correct spot. Discord. Stream. Oh. Oh, whoops. Sorry. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm messing everything up. Here we go. Alright, now I'm back. Apologies.
So we've got a cool set piece here where it's like a totally dark room, but as you move up, these like torches light up, which is neat. And there's little dialogue that triggers when you get to certain points. So you can talk about how like event scripting works in these games, and maybe
Yeah.
combine it with examination of the ROM or of ROM hacks or the sort of communal knowledge about this game
Mhm.
to see like how did they do this?
Is
Like
this supposed to
what?
show up? Because I'm still not seeing what you're talking about. Like it's still still the Donkey Kong
Uh
on the YouTube stream.
oh, I think when I change the when the title of my browser window changes, I lose the
Because I don't
um
see you on the stream either. Like I just see the
oh
gist
sure,
window
yeah.
that you're running.
So I think if we're oh, it's like still the tab, the like Mario Kart tab.
Yeah.
I see. So like each tab is like a separate thing. This is good to know. It should be now the Chrono Trigger thing. So like
Yeah, I'm looking at
yeah,
ways
yeah.
to yeah.
Sort of communal
Um,
knowledge. Yeah, we'll figure it out. I think if we're going to be changing windows a lot, like tab names seem to be important for this for OBS's capture on Linux. So maybe I can do something where it's like capturing the display and then cropping it. I think that's probably going to be better than capturing a window going forward. I can do that.
yeah, and so I actually had
I'll switch back to you.
I gave a talk on this on a on this like last week, right? This tool and stuff. And so the thing that you're showing there, actually, I was actually used that as an example of confusion because like if you start up Chrono Trigger in this way and you don't move, you think it's just broken, right? Because there's just like a blank space. You have to like start moving. Um, but this, I'm hearing some like reverb or something. I don't know what's going on.
Do you have the stream running on your end, like in YouTube?
Oh, I do have the stream running, which is probably why the audio is going.
Because
But
it's
is it
getting
that big of a
captured.
delay?
Yeah,
Okay.
it'll be a many milliseconds, maybe seconds delay.
Oh, okay. So that's kind of weird to watch out for. But yeah, so I mean, we see here like this was actually part of a presentation one of my students did on ludonarrative harmony was the notion. So I actually have it here on my screen. This is a poster that my student made um, of uh, of this idea, and so the narration using the like the gameplay movement and mechanics of the game to do character narration was part of this. And so this was actually a Chrono Trigger paper that she wrote, and that was where these things came from. Okay, I have an interesting question on this. Is like where, so like, how long is the delay, and then like how are we switching between stuff if I'm like sharing my window and things like that?
So I'm showing it right now. I think it's just me like picking up on what you're doing, and I switch over in OBS to show your thing instead of my thing.
Okay, so in the stream, I'm still seeing Chrono Trigger. So like that's the thing.
Are you
Like
sure
I'm
it's
not.
not like paused? You can like if you paused it, you will have to like scrub to the end to see like what's happening now.
No. Oh. Oh.
Because on the
Oh.
stream, I'm seeing your QR code for the Mario Kart stuff right now.
Oh. Okay, that was. Oh, how do I move this? Okay, hold on. Let me see. Is this? Yeah. So I'm still behind. How do I get it to go?
There's
Oh,
like a little
this.
playback bar in the YouTube interface, and if you drag the handle to the end, you'll see the like current thing that's happening. I think there's probably also like a way to jump, but I'm not sure how to do it.
Yeah, I still feel like I'm behind.
Like right now, what I'm seeing at the tail of the stream is exactly what I'm seeing in the Discord share. Now there's like a little bit, yeah, it's like maybe a 5 second or 3 second delay.
Okay, so that's going. Okay, that's going slow. Okay, that's now I'm caught up. No, I'm now like way behind. Why I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get this aligned so I can see what I'm showing, but I'll just trust you and maybe I just don't watch this freaking stream because it's just confusing.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, I think the aspect ratio on my video is wrong relative to what YouTube wants to show.
okay.
Because I'm seeing some stuff like clipped off the right. Uh, well, no, maybe. It's hard for me to tell if there's clipping or not, but we'll figure
Uh-huh.
it out. We'll figure it out for next time.
Yeah,
Um,
I just don't know how to get myself to feel like I'm actually like aligned with the stream because it seems like the delay is like way longer than I would be expecting it to be.
well, what
Um,
you're saying, like, it is the video and audio are synced, so you
yeah,
should
okay.
just
So
like do what
anyway,
you're gonna do, and then yeah.
yeah, so I mean, this the basic notion here is like I had students work in my class on a bunch of different projects, and some of them decided to use GIST for the final projects, and so I had a student do this, which is actually gave us the idea for the QR codes, because
Mm-hmm.
the student was like, "Oh, I can do this QR codes," and so we had a presentation at the end of class, and she embedded QR codes of the game moments, and so this was a discussion of specific places in Final Fantasy VI that focused on character narration and motivation, and so it was like Terra being brainwashed at the beginning and doing certain things, and then there's actually a moment in Final Fantasy VI where like she uses magic, and the other characters like stop the battle and like talk about her using magic in the battle screen, right, in some interesting way. And then similar thing with like Super Metroid, right? This is like this fight with Ridley, and then or Ripley, yeah, and then the the inversion of expectations with like some of the statues holding the items attacking you and things like that. And then as Joe was talking about before, this was my student did a research on Mario Kart neologisms and like the discussion of skips in the Mario Kart speedrunning community, and had a speedrunner, SM, what was their name, Lafungo, who's a SMK speedrunner, actually came into GIST and did the work there, and that was what you were showing before. And then this is an example of you know, uh, just being used for non-game stuff. Like I had a student do work on the essentially the hegemony of like early design software, and how Photoshop really hasn't changed much in 30 years, and what that means for like computational expression, like these types of ideas. So just nifty stuff that we were doing with just right. Uh, and so yeah, I don't know, Joe, if you want to go somewhere else with this or just what we're talking about here.
No, I think that's great. I think it's actually a good place to stop for the day.
Sure.
Besides the like little bit of sort of technical, uh, sort of figuring out how things work, I think this is a pretty decent introduction to the key idea of what just is and what it can do and what it's for. Um, I think in future installments we'll make an effort to have like how were these things constructed, like how could we
Yeah.
do something like that, like for a new game or whatever. um, and we can also talk about recent developments in the system and cool new features, and we'll try to do it every week.
Yeah, I feel like that'll work. I feel like next week probably. I don't know how the replay editing and modification works while you're doing it, so that'd be cool. As far as just like if you click back at a previous state and you're recording input, like when it does and doesn't
Oh yeah, yeah, that's good
overwrite
to explain.
and that type of thing. Because like I didn't even couldn't even explain that to my students because I didn't know. So like, I
Fair
think we
enough.
should probably talk.
All right, well, until next time then.
Thank you so much.
Bye.